In this session, we are going to discuss about different ways to create objects in Java. And this is very frequently asked question in the interview. So we will see that what are the different ways. The first way is that using new keyword. Then we have using new instance. Then we have using clone method. And then we have using deserialization. And one other way to achieve it is that using the new instance method of a constructor class. Okay, so I will tell you about the all these methods in detail one by one and practically. So let's start with the, you can say, first method. So first method is using the new keyword, and you can say that new keyword, using new keyword, mainly Java use this way to create the objects. And in your programming, 90% of the objects are created in this way. Using this method, you can call the no argument constructor, or you can say non-parameterized constructor, as well as you can call the parameterized constructor. So let's see this method. So for that purpose, I have created a class that is the student class. This is my sample class. And in my Pradeep class, I will try to create the objects of a student class using different ways. So first way is that using new keyword. So using new keyword, I'm creating the object. Simple. You have to use the new keyword, and then you have to give the name of the class here, new student. And now you have created this object. But let me create the reference. It is very important that object creation is only achieved using this line. But at the same time, because I want to show you that what things are, you can say set, what properties or values we have set in this object. For that purpose, I'm creating the reference of it also. So S1 is a reference. Okay. Now you can see that I've created the object. Let's see that this object is created successfully by checking the value of the school name property. So when I will print S1 dot school name, the output of this, you can say program should be, you can say that, let's make automation easy. So now you can say that in my console it is printing, let's make automation easy. So this is the first way to create the object using the new keyword. Now we will see the second way to create the object. The second way to create the object is using the new instance method. And how we create it? For this purpose, you can say that this uses the concept of class.forName. So there is a class in the Java, and the name of this class is itself class, CLASS, and it contains a method for name. So using for name method of this class, we can actually load the class. We can load the class in the memory. We can only load the class. And then using that loading class, we can create the object. So how it is possible? Let me show you in my program practically. So second way is that using new instance method, new instance method. So for this purpose, let me show you what we are going to do. We have a class. We have a class with the name of class. So this is the name of the class. Java.len package contains a class with the name of class, and it contains a method. You can say property. You can say function class.forName. In this class.forName, what you have to do? You have to give the name of the class in the string format, the complete path. So what is the path of this class? The path of this class is the package, where the name of the package plus the name of the class student. So in this, you can say class.forName. I am just passing the name of the class in the string format, and this is called, you can say, it is also calling the reflection method. Reflection means I am giving the name of the class in the string format. So it will go, this method will go to this path and will try to load the object, load the class with this path. So this is usually used in, if you have work on the JDBC part, Java database connectivity. In that case, we load the driver using the class.forName, like whenever you want to connect with the database. So you can check my video on the how to connect to the database, and here there you will see that using this method, I'm trying to create the object of the class. Okay, so now it is giving you the, you can say, exception. So let me add throws. So usually we should not use the throws, but here I want to make my code clear, so that's why I'm doing it. So this is the, you can say, I have created it. Now what it will do, at the left side, I will create the object of this class, and I'm just giving the name CLS. So this is the reference of the class. So what this line will do, this line will run and load the class, load the student class using this path, and will give the reference in the CLS. Now using the CLS, this is the object of a class. This is the object of a class. Class means the name of the class. And using the CLS, we will call a method that is called new instance. And this new instance method will actually at runtime will create the object of this student class. Now what we will do, again, it is giving the exception. Let me simply say that at throws clause. Now it will return the object. So I want to store this object in my student. I want to store this object in my student. So I am creating a reference S2. Now here you can see that why it is giving the error outside, because when it will create a new instance, the type of instance will be object, but will be student, but we have to typecast this in the student so that we can use it. So this line, what it will doing, using the, first of all, we load the student class using the class.for name, and using that reference, I create the new instance. Then I converted or typecast that new instance into the student class, and now our S2 object is ready to use. So I will do one thing in my next, you can say line, I will show you that S2 dot schoolim. So if I'm going to get it S2 dot schoolim, I will see that, okay, really my object is created using this two lines, and then I can call the properties method as well. So let me run it this one. So now again, you can see that I'm getting this one. So this line I'm getting due to this one. Okay. So here we can do one thing also. Let me put a proper message also, like using new keyword. I'm getting this one. Okay. And here I'm getting it using the instance method. Using new instance. So now let me run it again, and you have seen that two ways. First way is that using the new keyword, you can simply call it new student, and using new student method, first of all, you have to call the method class.forName, and then you store in a reference class, and you have to call a method new student, and then you have to typecast to store in a student reference variable. So this is the second way. Now we will come to the, you can say, third way. Third way is that using the clone method. Using the clone method also you can do it. But what we have to do, if you want to clone, if you want to create an object of any class using the clone method, the first important thing is that your class should implement the clonable interface and also define the clone method. So for example, this is the class. This is your student class. Okay. Now I want to create this, create the object of this class using the clone method. So how we can do it? First thing is that we have to write the code implements, and this class should implement the clonable interface. This is the clonable interface. When you, first thing is that you have to implement the clonable interface, and then you have to override a method that is called clone. Let me write this one. So you can see that in my student class, I have implemented the clonable interface and now override the clone method. Simply you have to write this in this way. And now in your code, you will be able to create the object of your student class using the clone method. So I'm using clone method. So how I'm doing it? Let's see that. Simply, you have already a object. Like I will take the example, we have S1 or S2, any example. This is already created object. So I will say that S1 and dot, you will able to see a method of clone. So what it will do? It will actually clone the, it will using S1, it will clone the object and it will return a new object. So let me do one thing. I will create a new, you can say reference variable so that I can show you separately. S3. Now, when it will clone, you have to typecast it. So add typecast so that it will, you can say, convert it. When it will clone, it will by default create the object. And then I'm just typecasting that object into the student. Okay. Now I can use it. Before that, let me throw exception. If you want, you can use the try and catch. And now let me again write the same code. So this is the way to create the object using the clone method. I'm writing using clone method. And now I'm going to show you S3. So when I will run it, it will show you S3.schoolName means this object S3, which is referring, S3 is referring object which is created using the clone method. Let me run it. Now you can see that every time you can say that I'm creating object using a new keyword, using the instant method and using the clone method. Now let me go to the next method. So next method, if you will see what is the next method. Next method is that using deserialization. So using deserialization is a concept that whenever you have stored a object into a file or any persist device, it can be file, it can be database. Now from that, you can say serialized object, you can slice it and convert it into object. So for that purpose, it is a, you can say, little bit, you can say a big topic, little bit. So that's why I've already created a separate video for that. You can see that this serialization and deserialization, that is available on my channel, and I will provide the link of this video in the description of this video. So that is in very detail and very popular. You can see that it has 24K views here. Okay, so you can see that in that video. Now let me go to the next and the last way to create the object, and that is new instance method. But this new instance method is of the constructor class. This is from the constructor class. So let me show you practically using new instance method of constructor class. Okay, now I will show you this thing. So how it is possible? Simply what we'll do, simply I will do one thing. You have a class, you want to create the object of this class, right? So student dot, you have an inbuilt property class every, and now you have a, you can say, declared constructor. Get declared constructor, you have to call this one. Okay, and you don't need to pass anything here. And now simply, and now what I will do, add throws here. Simply, why I'm adding a throws here? Because I don't want to make the code complicated. Now when you will run this code, it will return the object of the constructor class, you can say that. So left side I will write student only. Okay, but automatically let me give ss, and now you will see that because it will not return the directly object of student. So that's why you can say that change type to student constructor, means when this code will run, it will return the object of the, you can say, student class, but in the form of constructor object. So you can say I'm using this way, constructor, and I'm using the raw type as a student. Now using this ss, you can create the object. Again, this time you are calling a method that is called new instance. But this new instance method and this new instance method, is from the class, and this new instance method is from the constructor class. Constructor is itself the name of the class. And if you want to initialize some values, you can put it here. Otherwise, you can simply, now I will do one thing. I will create a reference at left side, student student s4, and now simply, again, you know that, add throws declaration, and now simply let me run this code, this one code, let me run it and see that using new instance method, same thing here, and here I'm putting s4. So now just check this thing whether this is working or not. So let me run this code. So we have seen all the ways to achieve the, you can say, now you can say that. So using all these 4 ways and including the deserialization, we can create the object using the 4 ways. I will put this code in the description of this video for your reference. And if you have any doubt, you can put in the comment of this video. If you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.